Good morning, everyone. Welcome back on this beautiful Sunday. Nat left a part at my garage all on his own, all on purpose. So I'm having a ride up to Nat. We'll have a quick look at his knacker's yard, and I'll get back here and we'll get moving on our projects. We've got a lot to do today. Yesterday, very eventful. Lots of MOTs, lots of work. The garage is very busy. Okay guys, so just back from Nat's. Nat's a great guy. I could stay all day at Nat's, but I just know he'd get nothing done because we'd just chat. DNA is going home actually at some point. Today, tomorrow, the next day, whenever. That's fine. I want it out the way anyway. Harley drove really well. I really dislike the immobiliser system though. I want a button. I want to turn my alarm off when I want to turn my alarm off. Let's say I was sitting on the bike chatting to Jake on the phone, which I was. You then put the key in, you might turn it, and nothing happens. Now that did alarm. That did take the alarm off. And obviously the fuel primed. But you could be sitting there, I was sitting there for 5 minutes. And what you have to do is you have to come right away from the bike. There you go. Wait for it to alarm. Then go back and do it again. So you look like a right prat walking away and forward to your bike. I'm going to do a how-to on this. How to remove the carbs from a tmax 500 Mark 1. It's actually really complex. It's really complex. So this is going to be a how-to guide. Okay, so kind of breaking it down bit by bit. The first thing we need to remove is this panel. This panel. We might get away with just that. I believe it's just that. I think they can stay on, but I'm going to double check once that's dropped. This panel also needs to be removed. So it may be, it may be that the side panels come off as well. So again, keep it simple. You've got a couple of screws on there. There's actually one or two under here on that one there. These ones you can see, obviously that one, and then it's all clipped. So pop them panels off. That's step one. So guys, that bit's done. That bit's easy enough. Yeah, that's the side panels. This gets you to see the carbs. We can see them. Yeah, they're here. They're not exactly accessible. It's very difficult to get these carbs off and out for different reasons. I'll show you why in a bit. But you get to see them, which is cool. Ooh. I knew that clip was missing. Look at that. It's not there at all. Right. So the carb, even though it's pushed into the intake boot, it's not clipped up. That means it could be sucking in extra air. Now from here guys, this is probably the most tricky bit, okay? We've got all of this coolant and wiring. So basically you have to remember where it goes. These are easy, undo these, pop them away for now, clip them off here. That bit's fine, the throttle and return. So, big fat wire here, fuel. That goes into there, okay? Straight in on that one. Then this one comes up here, so where does that go? So follow it, so it goes up here. So this one is like an air overflow or something. That's 2, and then there's one that goes down to the engine. That's the engine breather pipe. That's 3. So that kind of comes past it technically, but you might want to pop that to get some extra space. So undo the bolts here, get the throttle cables off. By the way, you have to unclip all of these. There's 3 of them. That's they're the chokes for the bike. That's easy. That comes off with the carb. So you pull that one out, you pull that one out. Yeah. And then there's actually one more. What am I missing? this one right here, you pull that one out as well, which is blatantly not a one-handed job. Yeah, because when you pull the carbs out, they need to come out as well. I'll sort that out anyway. So these off, pull them off here at the top, and then you can slip them out. You pull the wire around, slip it out down there. That bit's easy. These two wires come off. You'll lose a little bit of coolant, but not loads, because the system has a thermostat, so you won't lose loads, and you can sort that out in the end anyway. So that's this side, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It just has 2 pipes, I believe, exactly the same thing. Okay guys, so you've done everything here. Like I said, all the pipes are off and stuff. That bit's done. All the panels are off. That middle panel is now off. It's free, it's over there. And you've done the same on this side. There's one pipe there, for example, and there's one pipe there. They're loose now. Have we undone all 3? Nope, we need to undo this wire here, which for some reason I can't manage. That's frustrating. I'll do that. Come on. Right, get that one undone basically. Then from here, you need to undo the clips. So this one happens to be an Allen key. There's one there, and of course the one on the other side isn't there, so we need to get one put on that. Also the airbox clips from here, which I've already popped off. So yeah, so this one here, the one on the other side's disappeared, so we need to put a new one on it. And then basically the carbs will kind of you slide the airbox off, undo the top of this weird airbox here as well. So undo that there and all, and then you can slide that bit off. That makes it easier. And then you've got this loose. You've basically got 2 carbs ready to slide off and down and out past the front wheel. Okay guys, so all the clips for that kind of weird airbox is undone, so they're all loose. Now it can take a little bit, or not, just pull on it. I was going to say it can take a little bit of jiggling around, and then you've got to kind of maybe turn the wheel. There it is, look at that, you've got to be gentle. So that's it. So the carbs technically now are loose, they're there, they're accessible, and they're going to come off your way. They're going to come off towards here, and then you kind of slide them out here, nothing's left holding them in, and yeah, slide them out down here, and then you do what you need to do with them again. Now they're in quite sturdy, but maybe, let's see, there you go. Right, look at that, lovely. This T-piece needs to come out. I think that goes through the carb, so we need to unpack this T-piece here. Come on, there it is. And then what else? What's that? That is the spark plug. We can pop that out of the way. So let's pop spark plug. Is that number 1 or 2? Sorry about this filming, guys. You're literally in my hand. Right, there you go. So it's just kind of now making the space. You just put it towards you. Make sure, what you've got to do is make sure all the wiring and everything isn't pulling on it. So pull everything aside and basically work it out. Right, I think, what have we got? I think we've got wires. They're okay, they're through. What's holding you on over here? It might be that last. That's a little bit in the way. Right, come on, I need you out. Yeah, there it is. And then make sure all the fuel drips on you, otherwise you haven't done a good job. Cool. Now you might need to turn the wheel, make a slot, slide it out, and there you go. There's a very professional carb removal on a Yamaha tmax 500cc. Now the only piece of the puzzle that I want to look at here is, ooh, sticky slider. Ooh, sticky sliders. Alright, let's get them off, let's grease them up. There you go, we found another piece of the puzzle. Interesting. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to pop them out as long as these all do come off. It's not a huge issue, but the bit of the puzzle I really needed to look at was the air fuel screws, which are on this carb. They are missing. Blatantly doesn't have any. What interesting. They must be in under there. You must take them caps off or drill them out. A bit of a pain, actually. What am I missing? They would always be fairly accessible. Could they be under there? They're going to be under these caps, I think. Hey, there we are. They're under the caps. There's your air fuel. Now, my hope, my desperate hope is that they do turn. They're the only bits I didn't clean out last time, and with that kind of black tar, as Daniel said, actually, Daniel Barnes is a hero of these channels because he points out the things you missed. Yeah, if it's got that black tar on it, then the actual bike isn't going to ride as well as it can. So I think this is going to be a really quick and easy fix. I think it's as simple as you put these, clean them out. That's fine. That's easy. I've got carb spray. Put these back together. Make sure all the clips are on and secure. So I'm going to find a clip now and put it on this side, so that's ready. That needs to be done properly. Make sure everything's nipped and tucked up back in properly. All the clips are on the air boxes. And I think the bike's going to run really well. Now, if I had, see these screws here, there's one there and there's one there. Ooh, does that intake boot have a split in it? That's so far in though, it shouldn't be letting air in, but I'm going to try and pop that off. I'm going to have to, see that split there, guys? You never know, a bit of air could be getting through. You never know. I'm going to put some high temp silicone on them. And then they're quite far on, so I would have thought that it's not an issue. But not worth not doing that at this point. So there you go. It was worth, tearing into it properly and looking at this. So let me get that off and sorted. Let me get these out in hope that they come out. Remember, guys, anytime you touch the air fuel screw, turn it in, seat it lightly, and count how many turns. So like it'll be 1, 2.5. And remember, it's that side that's on, and it's that side that's on, for example. So you know exactly where to put it back afterwards if you don't want to mess with retuning it, basically. So guys, I'm doing one at a time. You're not really going to see this, the camera won't focus, but it is a bit cruddy, so it definitely needs a clean because they're very fine in the way they work, these. They just block enough air and fuel for it to be quite a, yeah, it's a very fine tuning thing. So I'm simply going to wipe this, give it a spray with the carb cleaner, give it a wipe, spray through the hole, put it back in. It was at 2.25 turns out. Put that back in, then do the other one so that I know I'm doing one at a time. 2.25 turns out. Clean it, back in, 2.25 turns out. That one's done. Same on the other side, that one's done. So guys, exactly what I said I was doing, I did there. Cleaned them out, sprayed the tubes, cleaned them out. One was actually missing a washer, which is interesting. That bit's done. Next bit I need to do is them, like we talked about as well, make sure they're sealed. Make sure everything has its Jubilee clips on there, and then we'll be looking at chucking this back on. I think it's going to run beautifully. So guys, we're going back to pushing back in. Now, when we're putting these back in, it really doesn't hurt to put a bit of WD-40 around the lips there. A bit of WD will help it slide in. Make sure it slots all the way in, nip up the clamps, and then we'll look at doing up all of the wiring that we've got here. Once you're at that stage, it's then pipe work, chucked back on. That should be straightforward now because we pretty much remember it. I wonder if, let's see if we can put the throttle cable on with it on the bike. That might be easier. And then if we're really lucky, we're good to go. Make sure we've got all our brackets on that airbox. We should be back in. I think it's going to run beautifully. I think, actually, because we've done some bits there that should help. So, bit of WD, slide it in. We're getting closer to being able to fire it back up. Okay everyone, so actually everything is back as it should be. All the electrics are plugged in, the carbs are in, every single bracket is nipped up top to bottom. I've put the idle screw on this side so that it's easier to access. Actually, it kind of makes sense that you just kind of pop this panel off and do that. So that's good. Now at this stage, before nipping everything up, you'd be nuts not to fire it up and test it. Just make sure it's at least where it was before. So that's the next step. Fire it up, let it idle for a couple of minutes, see how it lies. At worst, it doesn't start at all, it's no good. At best, it starts and rides perfectly. Somewhere in the middle is it starts and sounds as it did before, because it was kind of okay. It was me being a bit picky. That already sounds happier to me, guys. Remember, the choke will be on. I need to give that a minute or two. The choke is currently on. Let the choke come off and then we'll set the idle. Alright guys, have a listen. It's running smooth as anything. Very, very smooth. That means I am comfortable advertising this now. I know at some point Aidan wants to borrow a bike for a day or two. I can hear that though, smooth as anything, guys. So that's all going back together now. And in fact, I'm going to give it a very quick test run. Then it all goes back together. Then we polish it up. And we get the advert up. Aidan could still have it for a couple of days. There's no issue there.